the digital era, we live in a knowledge society with existing and newly created knowledge available at our fingertips with just the click of a mouse 24/7. The ability to collaborate, communicate and create using digital technologies are essential skills for learners in this era. It is possible to generate knowledge and share this globally via multimodal platforms and collaborate to develop shared knowledge. This concept of globalization 3.0, where individuals are able to meaningfully access, create and contribute to the creation of new knowledge, is being enabled by greater access to mobile devices and mobile education. That mobile learning is ubiquitous, that is, it is permanent, accessible, available immediately in our daily lives, adaptable and interactive, means that we are well placed to enter into this new era, but there are lessons to be learned from other contexts about how to get there. UNESCO works with governments and individuals to harness the tangible benefits of mobile devices in communities across the globe. At the UNESCO Mobile Learning Week in 2011, the following points were shared to help frame discussions around how mobile technologies can be used to improve education access and outcomes for global communities, regardless of location. Mobiles are part of our culture and society. There is no technology-free society now, so why would we strive for a technology-free education? It is productive to frame these conversations about learning and not about technology. The technology exists only to benefit the learning. Learning deserves centre stage. The actual technologies outdate quickly. 10 years ago, only specialists were ICT literate. Today we all need to be. It is necessary to take into account that mobile technology is not a neutral tool. Users act differently with different technologies. Connectivity has become a new human right. If you deny a child connectivity, you might be denying him or her access to the textbook of the 21st century. In order to take advantage of global access and promote communication and collaboration with school communities around the world, sharing the learning journey can benefit us all. Sunnyside Unified School District is a very proactive school district in North America. In 2008, the district superintendent, who was new to the area, recognised the need to address the poor academic results and increase the number of graduating students to improve the future for the students in this area. In a low socio-economic area with a high Hispanic population, it was described by Johns Hopkins University as one of the nation's dropout factories. In 2013, graduation numbers have doubled, standardised test scores have improved, and students are more engaged, with the result that the student dropout rate has decreased. For a district that has 80% of its students from low-income families and one of the lowest levels of the student funding levels nationally, impressive changes have been implemented. Sunnyside is now known as a tech-savvy school district that is collaborating with other school districts to promote the implementation of one-to-one programs, and in doing so is continuing their digital journey with other school districts to continue the innovation. As the initial aim of implementing a mobile technology program at Sunnyside Unified School District was to increase the percentage of students graduating from high school and continuing on to a tertiary education, this initiative targeted Year 9 students, providing them with a laptop that could be used at home and school. The Project Graduation, the Digital Advantage program, utilised a novel approach. Students needed to fulfil the requirements of regular attendance, improved achievement, involvement in extracurricular activity and display of a positive attitude to be eligible for the program. At this stage, there's also recognition that one-to-one technology device access would prepare students for the demands of 21st century learning, which is essential for all levels of education. But the focus was to implement the program in the secondary sector as a small trial. Community and corporate funding was secured to purchase the devices and upgrade internet access, with local support to provide cheap home internet access as well. Without this support, the students would have been limited to using the devices at school or at the local library, and so not being able to take advantage of 24/7 access. This school district adopted 9 key implementation factors to student achievement, identified by Project RED, an independent research group that was established to investigate how technology can transform learning. Supportive leadership, daily use of search engines, online collaboration, and virtual field trips were elements of this process. Open educational resources were accessed by many teachers as there was no digital curriculum aligned to the Common Core Curriculum state standards, equivalent to the National Curriculum Achievement Standards in Australia. Teachers were allowed to decide on which learning management system they would utilise, as this was thought to encourage teacher ownership. Teacher professional development courses that were provided focused on the technical features of the hardware and software. The school leadership team modelled the use of technology in the school environment and provided teachers with support to develop their skills. Planning for program implementation was focused on the near future, with only the most essential elements being planned for. The project yielded positive results, with the number of graduating students increasing from 598 to 821 in 2 years, and students displaying greater engagement. Once it was apparent that positive changes were occurring, Sunnyside Unified School District wanted to keep the momentum going and to take the next step to enable sustainable integration of technology to prepare all students to use mobile technology effectively and productively. A more strategic approach was undertaken, with research examined and long-term planning to consider all aspects of implementation. A one-to-one program framework was developed to guide the school's approach and ensure that the school and wider community supported the school's vision to successfully prepare all students for the future. Over the next school year, some significant changes occurred. Moodle was chosen as the school learning management system to provide better management, monitoring and integration, rather than allowing teachers to use different learning management systems. 2 district-level technology coaches were placed in the 3 local high schools to support teachers and students, as it was identified that even though the secondary students could utilise the technical features, the transformative elements weren't being integrated. Regular and strategic professional development was provided to all staff to develop and promote the digital pedagogy needed in the one-to-one learning environment. Open educational resources are examined with greater rigour to ensure they address the Common Core state standards. In order to continue the journey with support, they joined the League of Innovative Schools, a group of school leaders that share challenges and successful strategies so that innovation can continue and problems are solved. The district needed to be creative in order to fund this program. Corporate sponsors such as Intel helped to kickstart the program and continue to provide financial and program support. Educational grants have been sourced and combined with school funds. Diligence, perseverance and passion were required by the school leaders to secure the various funding sources, but without them, the school's vision to prepare students for their future wouldn't be able to be implemented. Sunnyside's one-to-one program has yielded positive impacts on student retention rates and results, and is now addressing the longer-term goals of developing creative, collaborative global citizens. In my teaching context, there is the recognition that in the digital age, it is essential for young people to develop the capability to use, create and collaborate using information and communication technologies in order to prepare them for life beyond school. The Australian curriculum identifies the ICT capabilities across the curriculum areas, but also provides a technology curriculum to ensure that all students benefit from learning about and working with traditional, contemporary and emerging technologies that shape the world in which we live. As the pace of technological development increases and global access to information and resources becomes easier, a major challenge is to provide our students with the skills to develop the capacity to be responsible and active participants beyond the local community. The Digital Strategy 2014 to 2017 outlines the goals to provide direction for better educational outcomes through improved delivery of high quality, cost-effective, contemporary ICT. The goals focus on all parties involved, students, teachers, staff and partners, to ensure that all groups will be afforded the benefits of contemporary ICTs, and acknowledges that strategies and tools will need to evolve along with the digital environment. This state strategy complements the ICT capabilities and technology curriculum of the Australian curriculum by outlining the focuses of being given access to digital technologies regardless of location, using them to create and collaborate in a personalised learning context, using safe and ethical online behaviours, while recognising that BYO programs may be the best way to provide this access. From my personal immediate context, mobile technologies are being utilised on a small scale, predominantly as substitution tools and to augment some learning experiences. Schools are purchasing small numbers of mobile devices, predominantly laptops and Apple iPads, for use by small groups. These enable these small groups or classes to engage in learning tasks that are collaborative, engaging and creative. But in the current situation, the majority of these learning experiences are undertaken in isolation from the rest of the curriculum and don't communicate and collaborate on a global stage. At an institutional level, services and resources are being continually developed to promote and enable the integration of digital tools and resources into the curriculum. A secure online learning space provides a platform for teachers and students to access, save, share, and collaborate on learning tasks. As online security is paramount and the responsible use of social networking platforms is promoted, access to many of these types of sites is restricted. So that students can still benefit from the collaboration that occurs within this domain, the secure online platform is now incorporating many of these features, such as blogging and discussion boards. Teachers are provided with an array of professional development resources, live and on demand, that develop technical skills as well as the development of teaching strategies that can promote creativity and deeper learning. Even though teachers have access to these resources, the change in teacher pedagogy and the restructuring of learning tasks to take advantage of the power of mobile learning is a slow process. For real change to occur, there needs to be a concerted effort by school leaders and managers to support and model the integration of digital pedagogy with teacher professional development to occur within the learning environment itself. Fullen and Langworthy have identified the need to change pedagogical models to enable deeper learning to occur through the creation of learning partnerships among students and teachers, the restructuring of the learning process to allow for the creation and use of new knowledge, harnessing the power of digital tools and resources that accelerate this process. The teaching strategies that are being advocated are not new, but the use of digital tools and resources create an environment that can promote their development. The role of the teacher, when this shift in pedagogy occurs, becomes one of activator of the learning process rather than as facilitating access to content and control over the learning process. Haddie calculated the effect size of these two categories of teachers on student learning, using over 1,000 worldwide meta-studies. The teacher as activator category had a significantly greater impact, with an effect size of 0.72 in comparison to 0.19. So it needs to be noted that an effect size of less than 0.40 has no benefit beyond expected academic growth. If digital tools and online resources are predominantly used as substitution tools and to supplement the conventional teaching strategies, with the teacher continuing to be in control of the learning process, the development of the skills needed to become creative and active learners in the global community won't occur. Fullen and Langworthy state that meta-analyses of the impact of technology on learning outcomes confirm that, up until now, technology use has had a below average impact on learning relative to other interventions. One of the biggest challenges that many developing nations face with regards to mobile education is access to online materials and networks that facilitate learning. Massive online open courses, otherwise known as MOOCs, provide access to content that otherwise would not be available and so provide an excellent resource for these contexts. Many MOOCs that are now available are created using the model of providing access to content with little provision for networking or formative feedback. These MOOCs provide a suitable platform for giving access to educational materials to isolated communities or developing nations. Fullen and Langworthy recognise that MOOCs in this format are valuable for supporting traditional learning goals, but they don't leverage technology to further the acquisition of 21st century skills that are now considered so important. The original MOOCs, as designed by George Siemens, Stephen Downes, George Couros and David Cormier, had the intent of creating socially constructed knowledge in a networked environment, with exploration and discussion more important than the content on its own. This design leads to deeper understanding, with the participants taking more control of the learning process. Even though MOOCs provide a better platform for higher education, these principles can be used to create similar online learning environments in the secure network of my teaching context. Other forms of open education resources offer resources that can be shared and knowledge created collaboratively. These resources range from being complete open online platforms through to open source software. The benefit of open source software is that it allows for richer and deeper learning experiences, especially in the area of project-based learning and authentic tasks. Moyle quotes, "Contributing to open source projects provides students with opportunities to use software more complex than office productivity software and give students meaningful and authentic audiences for their work using that software." The intent of several curriculum units across most primary school year levels is to explore the local area and its features, and through the grades build on this knowledge to explore the impact of human colonisation right through to exploring Australia's connections with other countries. By connecting and sharing ideas with classes from other countries, the curriculum goals can be achieved while interacting with an authentic context and developing global citizenship. Both contexts would benefit from these types of interactive projects. What is Your Place Like? Is an online collaborative project designed to connect students from different corners of the globe by sharing what they learn about their own environment using mobile tools, while at the same time learning about different places to broaden their own horizons. Using a secure, edgy blog site, students would be given a variety of tasks to complete and respond using online tools. Students would create a travelling avatar using BuddyPoke or Voki, who will travel with their work online. Students would introduce themselves using PhotoCard app by taking an image that reflects their place and write or dictate a message. The use of brainstorming apps would be used to develop questions about the local environment. Students would use search engines to investigate their local area and answer these questions. Collaboratively, they would decide on locations that are of importance and reflect the current or past history of this area. Images of these places would then be taken using a mobile device so that they can be represented on maps. Google Maps to allow them to locate these places. PhotoMapo app would be used to create a postcard displaying the image with the map, as it actually uses location services. The use of persuasive writing tools would be used to write about the chosen location, with all of these artefacts uploaded to the Edgy blog site. Responsible and ethical online behaviour would be able to be developed by supporting the students to learn about and respond to the Buddy class's creations. An online meeting using Skype or similar tool would be organised for the students to meet and share and reflect on their experience. Engaging online projects like these enable achievement standards to be met while using multimodal tools for authentic tasks. Global mobile learning in action.